Hi guys, welcome back to our Texas homestead. Today I'm going to can up some potatoes two different ways. Last year I canned them up in water. I think it's like the approved method of doing it. And they were good in like potato salad, but I didn't like them as mashed potatoes because it made them like stretchy. I don't know. They didn't make like fluffy mashed potatoes. So I'm on a couple Rebel Facebook pages, and there's people on there that say not the approved way of doing it is to not can them in water and just let the potatoes put their own juices in there. You put butter with the potatoes and do it that way. So I have those sitting in a bunch of water. They're all chopped up into like bite-sized pieces. It says you let them sit in just some room temperature water for an hour, drain it, rinse it, and let it sit in water again for an hour, and then drain it and rinse it, and it helps take out some of the starch. And then you're going to cold pack can them. So when I get ready for that, I'll let you know. I'm only going to do 3 quarts of those just in case I don't like them. And the Rebel canners say you can leave the skins on them. I don't like potato skins, so I peeled them. So, but the approved method is going to be this one. And they say you have to peel them because you can get like, I don't know, bacteria or something in them. So I have potatoes sitting in water that I already peeled. I got a few more to peel. And make sure you don't put all these peels down the garbage disposal, because I learned one Christmas Day that my garbage disposal cannot handle 5 pounds of potatoes. So we had to clean out underneath the sink and drain all that out. It was a mess. Peel them, rinse them a little bit, put them in the water. That just helps remove like some of the starch, and it also keeps them from turning brown. For this one, it's going to be a hot pack method. So I have my jars in the oven. I just cooked something, so the oven's off, but it was still hot, so the jars are warming up with that. And then I got water on the stove. Actually, I need to get another pot of water on the stove also. Because we're going to cook the potatoes in the water I have on there right now. And then we're going to have hot water to put in the jars to fill them up. So I'm going to transfer these to a bowl and then fill this up with water to put in the jars at the end. So I'll bring you back in a minute. So now I'm just going to start cutting up my potatoes. Like this one's got a little spot on it where the skin went deep or something. So I'm just going to cut that part out. And I don't know if I said, but I got the canner outside warming up also. So everything will be hot. Go. And it really doesn't matter the size you cut them, it's just they fit in the jar a little better. So we got the water we're going to boil the potatoes in right here, and then we got water heating up over here to fill the jars with. So I'm going to start putting the potatoes in here, and you're going to let them cook for 2 minutes. I'm going to go cut up these last 2 potatoes I found, let that cook for 2 minutes, and I'll bring you back. So that's the water I had the potatoes sitting in, so you can see it's real cloudy now. It's letting a lot of the starch out. So you don't want to use this water again, so make sure you dump it out. And when you boil the potatoes, you're not going to use that water again either, because it'll be the same way. Okay, now I'm ready. So I'm going to start putting the potatoes in. And I got like a slotted ladle, so I'm going to drain out as much of that water as I can. And these potatoes aren't cooked all the way through, because when you can them, they'll cook. You're basically just kind of warming them up. And you want to go to 1-inch headspace. But these are great for potato salad, because when you make potato salad, you got to let it cool for so long since potatoes are so hot. But when they're already canned up, they're room temperature, so they don't have to cool for nearly as long. If I could just find a way to make mashed potatoes, maybe the other way will work. And you can use any kind of potatoes for these. I just always get russets. So you can add salt if you want to. It's pickling salt. It was in a bag, so I just put it in an old Folgers can. But it's a teaspoon of salt per quart, or half a teaspoon for a pint. And I didn't have enough to fill this one up, so that'll just go to the chickens. And then we didn't need these. So now we'll just fill it the rest of the way with fresh hot water. And again, you go to the 1-inch headspace. Now we're going to debubble them. And if you need to add some more water, if it goes below that 1-inch headspace, add more water. That one went down a little bit. We're gonna wipe the rims off with a little vinegar. some new lids on. Rings finger tight. Now you use new lids every time, but you don't have to use new rings. You can use the rings over and over again. So, let's see. Can't see very well, but the water's already boiling in here. Got all the potatoes in. See if I can actually get the lid on, since I always struggle with this one and it's hot. That one's hot. Okay, and it's already venting, if you can hear it. So we're going to time it for 10 minutes, and then we'll be back. So these potatoes have been sitting in here for like an hour. So while that is venting out there, I'm going to drain these, rinse them, and then put them back in some water. And then we're going to let these sit for another hour. And now to clean up all my mess. So I'll see you back when it's time to go outside. So it has vented for 10 minutes. Somewhere I had to wait. So I'm going to put it on the 10 hole. And then when it comes up to 10 pounds of pressure, since I got quarts, I'm going to can it for 40 minutes. If you do pints, it's 35 minutes. So it's been 40 minutes. I'm going to turn this off. Turn the gas off. And then just let it come down to 0 pressure all on its own. Don't take the weight off. Just let it come down all on its own. And then once it's down to 0, you're going to let it sit for another 10 minutes before you take the jars out. So when it's all done, I'll bring you back and show you what the final product looked like. Okay, so these potatoes are done. So I'm going to drain these. And this water never got as cloudy as the other water did. And then I got 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna throw it in the microwave and melt it. And then we're gonna coat these potatoes with the butter. So I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, so we're gonna pour our butter on the potatoes. And then just kind of stir it in. So we're just going to fill the jars up to 1 inch a head space. Let's just move this over so you can actually see. Well, I'm not going to can that one because it's not full. Although, I don't know if it makes a difference since there's nothing in there anyway.
Yeah, it's just potatoes.
So you wipe the rims off with some vinegar.
Some fresh lids and rings.
So since this one's cold pack, I don't have the canner going outside yet. So I will go get that set up and meet you outside. So I can get that one on. So I got the jars in the canner. So we're gonna let it start venting and let it vent for 10 minutes. And this one has come down to 0, so I'm gonna let it sit for 10-15 more minutes before I bring them out. So this one's starting to vent, so I'm gonna put the weight on it. And this one's got a, you can buy this one's separate for your Presto, and it comes with these different weights. So whatever weight you need it to be is what you put on there. So you don't have to watch it as much as you do with the one that comes with it. Anyway, so let it come up to 10 pounds of pressure. And then it's the same times, 35 minutes for pints and 40 minutes for quarts. But we can open this one now. And whenever you open up any of these, ooh, that's still hot. Always open them up and then like point the lid out that way so the steam will go that way. If I can get it open. Well, I'm all loosened. I might have to get Mike to come open this one for me. I didn't oil it and I should have. Hang on a minute. So Mike finally got it off, and I always forget to oil, because with the All-American you have to oil the lid like every time you use it, and with this one it just has a seal, so you don't have to oil it. So I got used to using that one, and now I forget about it with this one. But we got it open, so now I just need to remember to oil it. But that is what our potatoes look like. They do end up, when they're sitting on the shelf, they do get cloudy because it takes more of the starch out of the potatoes. But you drain the water anyway when you go to use them. So I'm gonna get these out. I got the timer going on those because it's asking. With this one, with the Presto, once you get it up to pressure, at least with this stove and the stove inside, you can pretty much turn it on low because it'll go up to like 15 pounds. This one, you don't really have to worry about that one. But I got the timer going on that one, so when the timer goes off, I'll turn everything off and let it just sit there and come back down to 0. And then when it gets cooled off and everything, I'll let you see the difference between the two. Okay, so I got all the potatoes out. So these 4 are the ones that I dry canned. So you see just a little bit of liquid down there. They shrunk down a lot. And then those are the ones that have water in them. So I'm actually gonna make up these ones that I dry canned up next weekend to see how they do with mashed potatoes. So if I think about it, I'll bring you along and we'll see how they are. But hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time.